Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here. It's time for more Phoenix, right? Except it's Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth. Words, investigations, Ace Attorney. That's the word. Okay, let's go. There's no one out there with a motive to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. All we really have to establish is that someone had a grudge against one of the two men. Mr. Rell, who happened to be there, became a witness to Mr. Faraday's murder. Therefore, he was killed out of necessity and set up to look like they had killed each other. I guess. I wonder if that's really true. Is there no one out there with a grudge against both men? I should take another hard look at the evidence for this morning's case. The second KG8 incident, as people are calling it, involving an embassy staff member, and the two men who both wound up as suspects in the case. Is there someone else I'm overlooking who is somehow related to them? Could be that guy who just happened to be there. I guess you're right, Ajax. They wouldn't be the best lubricant, I suppose. But still, good to have a donut down your throat than not. I ate a donut on the break. So the KG8 incident is this. This guy killed this lady. The sister, or mother, or daughter, or cousin, or brother of the other lady? I don't know. Could be anything. Niece, second cousin, her wife. This could be a progressive game in 2000 something. Alright. So at some point that'll come up. So, whoop. So there's no one else who might have a grudge against both Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell? I suppose no one is a bit of a stretch. But I'm pretty sure no one like that was here in this courthouse today. She's lying through her teeth. We just saw someone like that here earlier. Besides, you don't need to prove that the killer had a grudge against both men. Someone with a grudge against one of the men? In that case, aren't there plenty of other people who fit the bill? Sure, after all, who doesn't garner scorn from another simply by being alive? But the only one who held a grudge and acted upon it by killing was Detective Gumshoe. Are them all? So you're saying that he was basically silenced? Aren't you glad you managed to avoid the same fate, Your Honor? Why, if you had been the one to witness the blood-covered, detective...
What? Detective Gumshoe, you would kill even me?
What? I could never do something as terrible as that, Your Honor.
There's no need for even a second of deliberation. I will hand down my verdict here.
Oh my god! Your Honor, take a good look around. We are not in a courtroom right now. It would be greatly appreciated if you would stay here with us in reality.
Oh, please forgive me. I know not what I do.
You there, monsieur? Hurry up and continue with your testimony. If you fail to do so, I will whip you into shape. Ha ha ha, that's nice. Sounds kinda like fun, actually. Anyway, Detective Gumshoe had to erase the witness, Mr. Rell. I like how they just don't work on her.
I didn't do it, pal.
No hard feelings, but I don't think we can take the word of a criminal seriously.
But I can't even begin to think of ways to set up a crime scene.
I suppose you do lack the necessary tactical mind required to do such a thing.
Why do you have to kick a man when he's down, pal?
You shouldn't put yourself down, Detective. You're a big boy. I bet you thought it all up by yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. I worked real hard at it, too.
I think this proves one thing about the detective. She has the mental acuity of a worm. I have to admit, her explanation makes sense. However, there is also something she overlooked in her testimony. I should present that piece of evidence and see if I can't make her see the truth. Present this! Miss Yu, I believe there is someone you overlooked in making your statement. Or rather, is it because you'd rather not bring this person up? What do you mean? We are looking for someone who with a reason to kill both Mr. Faraday and Mr. L. I can think of at least one person that fits the bill. He was the suspect in the original KG-8 incident, and a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Manny Cochin. That's right, the very man who came to visit you earlier out in the hallway. The man who killed a member of the Cadopian embassy staff, Mr. Rell, and the man who was the lead prosecutor of the KG-8 incident, Mr. Faraday. Are you telling me that Mr. Cochin has no reason at all to kill both of these men? Well, I suppose he might have a reason or two.
You covered for me, pal. Maybe you're not such a bad guy after all.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're still a suspect. Make no mistake about that. The perfect evidence, the perfect testimony, is the only thing I wish to hold.
But I didn't do
it. You will stay under my authority and go investigate Mr. Manny Cochin for me. And remember, I will not be forgiving should any of that...
Whoop. You want to investigate Cochin? You'd just be wasting your time.
And why is that?
Cochin was up in the viewing gallery watching the trial. Or so I was told. Every cop in this place has been keeping an eye on the guy since he arrived.
Then the only real suspect we have is still Detective Gumshoe. I suppose so.
No way! Come on, Detective Bad. You've got to believe me, sir. I really was in that hallway the whole time, sir. I never took a single step into this room, sir. Okay, then are you saying there was someone else who passed through the hallway? No, there was no one else, sir. Then why should I believe you didn't do it?
That is one incredibly foolish detective. Standing right in front of a crime scene all by himself. It's as good as a confession of guilt.
I have to admit it's a bit strange.
Most criminals will fabricate some sort of lie to escape their crimes. And if that detective really wanted to prove that he is innocent, you'd think he would at the very least offer up a spaced out while on duty or the like.
Come on, Gumshoe. Time for your interrogation. Detective Van.
Oh, well. Miles Edgeworth, I will go on ahead and report this to Papa.
And that, as they say, is that. Right, everyone?
Okay, Santa. Well, I suppose we should both be getting back to our real jobs now, huh? Before we do, Miss Yu, there's something I'd like to speak with you about. What is it? I'm gonna keep laughing at him. I guess we gotta talk to her. There's nothing else we can do, huh? I think that was our chance to save. I think that's why they had that spot there. So, what did you want to ask me about? KG-8 incident. The current case of the murdered Cadopian embassy staff member? I've heard that people have begun calling it the second KG-8 incident. Only among you law enforcement types. And what about it? I'd like for you to tell me everything you know about the original KG-8 incident. I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know anything beyond what was reported in the papers.
No, I believe you know much more, since you are directly tied to the KG-8 incident.
I'd appreciate if you'd stop with the false accusations. Baseless outbursts are useless both inside and outside the courtroom, don't you know?
I do, but I also know that I do have a leg to stand on here.
Think you can stop making that ultra-serious face in front of me?
If you could please stop laughing for just 1 second. I'm not going to make any headway this way. I'm just going to have to show her exactly how related the KJ incident she is.
You gotta present it.
In her face. In her wide mouth. Right here. Boop. With that guy in the background. Miss you? I believe that I have proof of your connection to the KJ incident.
That follows your proof? Very well then. Why don't you tell me exactly how I'm related to the KJ incident?
Through the victim. Your connection to the KJ incident is through the victim. The victim's name is CCU. You will note that she has the same last name as you. Can you really still tell me with a straight face that you are not related to this case?
Sorry, but we're not related.
What?
Just kidding. You asked that question with such a serious look on your face that I couldn't help but...
Miss you, I ask that you please tell me the truth.
Alright, I'll tell you everything I know.
Incident?
As you guessed, the one who reported smuggling activities of the Mono Group was my sister CCU.
As I thought.
And she was killed right before she was to testify at the impending trial. By Manny Cochin. But because he was tried once, and was acquitted, he gets to live out the rest of his Kusha life completely carefree.
All because of a lack of evidence.
Now, I heard that the evidence to convict him did exist.
What?
I heard it from Mr. Faraday himself after Mr. Cochin's trial was over. Apparently, a man in black made off with the most important piece of evidence.
Then the evidence had been tampered with?
Isn't it just like a criminal to do something like that? Smuggling ring being run out by the Mono Group by one of its secretaries. They bailed Mr. Cochin out. Turns out they were in league with each other after all.
How big was that smuggling ring? Was it a large operation?
I don't really know. Which is why I wanted to become the lead defense on this case that people are calling the second KGA incident. But I haven't learned anything new at all. I was probably expecting too much, I know.
You mean you think this case has nothing to do with the smuggling ring?
I don't know what to think. Manny Cochin.
Why did Mr. Cochin want to meet with you earlier?
Actually, he came to watch the trial. Apparently he only found out that I was the defense lawyer on this case after he arrived. He figured he should say hi and one other thing. Looks like he couldn't resolve anything this time either. Too bad.
Ooh, that's just a mean thing to say. What's that supposed to mean?
Oh boy, stop it with the scary face already. I'm fine, really. I gave him a good slap across the face.
The way she talks about slapping him as he laughs away is kind of creepy.
Ahem. But it's just as Mr. Bad said. He's not related to the double murder. I asked around and people in the gallery claimed that he was in his seat the entire time. Talk about cruel fate. Well, this is about all I know. Sorry. Guess I wasn't much help, huh?
That's not true. I'm sorry I made you recall such a painful time in your life.
Edgeworth, you really are too serious for your own good. You really need to learn to relax. We wouldn't want you to die of stress now, would we?
Thank you for your advice, but there's no need to worry. I work in my own way, and I will catch this criminal in my own way as well. You'll see.
Look at you with your game face on, ready to go.
I'm making no such face.
Did you know? Laughter's the best medicine, Edgeworth. Don't you get tired of making such a serious face all the time?
I'm charged with making sure that all the criminals of this world are found guilty. I have no need for laughter.
There you go, making that face again. Oh well. I gotta get going. I still have a few loose ends I need to tie up.
Nothing has been solved. The KG8 incident and this murder investigation. It is my belief that these two cases are related to each other somehow. Plus that the detective, Detective Gumshoe. It's obvious he's lying, even though the lie is hurting his chances. Lately this case is far from over. But whether or not the detective is the murderer can only be determined once I've completed my perfect investigation. Mr. Von Karma, I swear to uphold your honorable name, or my name isn't Miles Edgeworth.
Alright, to be continued. I assume it's because the girl was in there. The little girl. Little girl was in there. He's like, not gonna have them accuse a little girl. The only guess I've got is why he'd lie. September 10, 4:45 p.m. District Court, 3rd floor lobby. What the hell's going on over there? Okay, it's like, I gotta handle this. I was like, oh no, I don't. Okay, I gotta guess. Actually, I don't. Okay. He's just sleeping right here. He's just, what's going on here?
My sciatica. I can't stand no more.
Alright.
Sir? What is to become of the trial into the Cadopian Embassy staff member's murder? Indeed, since both the suspect and the prosecutor are now dead. The case will be dismissed. In other words, the trial ends here prematurely.
Looks like you'll have to wait just a bit longer for your big debut.
I suppose it can't be helped.
Wait, wasn't Edgeworth's first case against, Mia? Mia. Wasn't his first case against Mia? Pretty sure it was his first case.
The evidence for this trial will be transferred to you in a little while. Sir, what do you think about the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member? And the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell? What an outrageous circus it has all become. That Faraday brought it all upon himself with his naivete. An outrageous circus? Right, sir. I grow weary of this topic, Edgeworth. I will have you assigned to a different case.
Papa, you'll come and watch my courtroom debut next, won't you?
I'll consider it. Sir, if I may, please allow me to continue with my investigation. Whatever for? I know that there's already a suspect in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. However, there's not enough evidence to prove that it was he who committed the crime. I'd like to continue investigating in order to find the perfect proof of his guilt. The perfect proof? Don't make me laugh! A worthless person like you has no right to claim such a thing as perfection.
Papa? Who do you think is the real culprit behind these murders? Miles and I were competing to see who can find the real killer first. Plus, being able to investigate a real crime scene is really a rare opportunity. It would give us some real-life experience, wouldn't you agree?
If you want to investigate this case that much, then do as you wish. Then you're allowing us to continue? In court, your top priority is to win, and a solid investigation is one of the keys to winning. We have to make sure you become recognized as a first-rate prosecutor, don't we? It wouldn't be very interesting otherwise. I'm returning home now. Edgeworth, Francesca, see to it that I'm not disturbed, save for the results of your competition. Yes, sir.
Of course, Papa.
Francesca, thank you.
What are you thanking me for? The logic earlier was built on that scuffy detective's lie. That means that the competition is still on.
Yes, just as you wished.
I couldn't let you get off so easily. Now then, let's see how well you fare on the investigation from here, Miles Edgeworth.
I know I don't have enough information yet. So my first order of business will be to question anyone involved in this case.
She's the partner? Alright. That little girl. Yes, what is it? Right, today's trial. It feels like there's a whole backside to this case we're not seeing. And here we had thought that it was a case where the two men had killed each other. We're lacking information. And as a Von Karma, I can hardly call this a perfect investigation. Indeed, it is as you say. What the hell? I can't believe we agree on something. Just what is so revolting about agreeing? Anyway, our first move should be to speak with everyone related to this case. Indeed, even if you had not said it, I was planning to do so anyway. Ah, what was that lash for? She does not like agreeing with him. Talk to this guy. I can't stop the water, sir. It seems that the man who was here earlier broke it by drinking from it too much. Bunch of fools who pretended to not see the foolishly foolish actions of a foolish fool. Well then, why don't you lend the officer a hand? As if I should have anything to do with this. Besides, that water-drinking fool's mouth is the thing an officer should be covering. Let's give that officer a description of the water guzzler later. She seems to have quite the drudge. It sounds to me like someone wanted a drink. You can still drink the water. Wow, this thing is so incredibly detailed. My inner modeling fanboy is impressed. I'm not exactly a fan of plastic models per se. But even I can sense the superb quality of this model. I simply cannot comprehend how that man can feel so much love for such a trifle. Oh, I see. Your disciple is my father. So you would do well to guard yourself against an interest in such unproductive things. Yes, perhaps I should take up whipping people like the young lady over here. This area is restricted on authorized personnel only, sir. If I'm not authorized personnel, then what, may I ask, do you think I am? The younger sibling of a dysfunctional relationship? I'm not the younger one? He is! Now get that straight in your head. I believe there is a more objectionable part of you, but you should be upset over, Francesca. Wait, how old is Edgeworth at this point? He can't be 12. She's a little girl right here. How old is this lady? 22, alright. Sir, nothing to report, sir. Is there no one who will make this man take responsibility for his actions on the job? Looks like we have no choice but to report this to Papa. Then this god can have fun in a waking nightmare after being awakened from his dream. Actually, let's not. I kind of feel sorry for him now. Is that just the judge multiple times? We've only seen him and his brother. It wasn't me, I tell you. I didn't do anything wrong. Yes, I understand, so let's just calm down, okay, buddy? I doubt I'll get anything useful from the detective while he is this agitated. So the only one to talk to is her. Miss you? Oh, it's you, Edgeworth. And who are you? Wait, you were at the crime scene just now, weren't you? You should be disbarred for not knowing who I am. I am Francesca Von Karma, and I'm about to become the successor to the family name. About to? I guess that means that for now you're still just another kid. In which case, it's only natural that I didn't know who you are. What? Why are you whipping me? Anyway, it looks like they're planning to hold the evidence a bit longer. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's waiting. I'm terribly sorry, but I have a few more questions to ask of you. Look at you, eyebrows scrunched with lines on your forehead. And that, to ask of you. What exactly is so funny? Sorry, I'm just bad at dealing with a super serious atmosphere. Apparently they failed to teach you proper behavior at a crime scene in law school. I feel so much better now. So what is it you want to talk about? I'd like to inquire as to where you were at the time of the murder. We're in defendant lobby number 1 the whole time, up until we heard the gunshot. And by we, I mean Mr. Bad if you don't believe me. Feel free to ask him yourself. You were with Detective Bad? Why? Had a little something to discuss, that's all. Totally making out. So I take it that you are acquaintances with Detective Bad? Yeah, he was the head detective in charge of the KG8 incident. Detective Bad is also related to that incident? That's right. He was the one who was supposed to protect my sister, Cece. But you know how that turned out, don't you, Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth, I had no idea that what you two were talking about. I've heard of the KG8 incident from Papa. But how does that case relate to you, Miss Yu? The victim of that case, CCU, was my little sister. Whew! You're making that super serious face again. I'm fine, really. I just make a point to rub some salt in his wounded pride every time I see him. The way she talks about doing that as she laughs away is kind of creepy. Oh, speaking of Mr. Bad, he and Mr. Faraday, I'd say they met up just about every single time the Yatagarasu made a move. It was practically a given that the two would meet up at every one of the crime scenes. I see. He did mention that he was in charge of the Yatagarasu investigation earlier. Maybe we should ask her what she knows about the Yatagarasu in more detail. You claimed that at the time of the murder you were with Detective Bad. But don't you lawyers usually discuss the trial with your clients during a recess? We do, and that's what I was planning to do. But Mr. Faraday was being rather threatening and he dragged Mr. Rell away. After that, Mr. Bad came into lobby number 1, so we just stayed there and talked. What did you talk with Detective Bad about? Nothing interesting. I just insulted him some. Talked about how the trial was going, and then I insulted him some more. Bloody! When she's not laughing, her mouth seemingly spews nothing but insults. Anyway, Mr. Bad and I were in defendant lobby number 1 when the murders occurred. So I really can't tell you anything about the hallway or lobby number 2. I see. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your client, Mr. Mackerel. Did he like fish? Now, your client first claimed to be the Yatagarasu, was that correct? Yeah. Once I heard that it was the Yatagarasu that had made off with the evidence from KG8, I began to ask Mr. Rell all sorts of questions, but to no avail. Turns out Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu, he had just made that up. He made it up? Mr. Rell's crime was caught on tape by the security cameras, but there is no footage of him sneaking into the Cadopian embassy itself. Hold on for just a second. Then you mean to say that you knew that he was not the real Yatagarasu? That he was just another cold-blooded killer, and you were ready to defend him? Yes, that's right. I see. So a defense lawyer is actually just someone whose job is to cover for criminals. That's why defense lawyers are so detestable, but they are no match for us von Karmas. I don't believe it, you're serious. Why don't you save that face for something really worth being serious about? And Edgeworth, do you remember what I said earlier? I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer? Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. I'm sorry. Well, forgive my rashness. Yatagarasu. Miss Yu? I was wondering if you could tell me about the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu, huh? Is it Yatagarasu? No. Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. I don't really know much about the character myself, but I do get a lot of consultation requests from companies to defend them. Requests from companies? Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Because Yatagarasu. No, that's pronounced correctly. It's not Ger, Ska. Because it's La Lululero. So, La Yatagarasu. Yeah, okay, that's how it's pronounced. Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu isn't some petty thief out for money, you know. Alright then, perhaps the Yatakarasu is in the business of stealing people's lives? You're not very funny or witty, are you, little Miss Von Karma? Girl! Oh my god! Whip! Francesca, be careful about who you whip! Choose carefully or we may be sued by— Oh! There, I chose carefully, just like you wanted. That just now was hilarious, little missy. Of course it was. What is wrong with these two women? Why does my pain give them delight? And, so in the end, what is the Yatagasu? I have to say I had never even heard of this thief when I was in Germany. Yatagarasu deals in information, namely in digging up dirt about backroom dealings and the like of companies. The Yatagarasu is a vigilante who steals such info and then makes it public for all to see. Vigilante or not, this person sounds like just another criminal to me. I suppose you could put it that way, too. But either way, I get a lot more clients now thanks to that thief. Sounds like Miss Yu is profiting nicely. I suppose I've gotten all I can out of Miss Yu. I should move on to speak to Detective Gumshoe now. I'll talk to Dick a little bit and then that's it. Get a little Dick going. Okay, here we go. Because this is gonna fudge my throat up. Detective Gumshoe?
Hey, it's you, pal. You're here. Ouch!
As am I. I don't think you needed to whip him to let him know that.
I didn't do it, pal. I swear on my honor as a detective. I really didn't.
Your words are useless. I place my trust only in the evidence, Detective. Once the investigation is fully over, should we find out that you are the killer, there will be no mercy to be had for you.
I have a heart, pal.
But you're not worried, right? After all, you have nothing to worry about, if you really are innocent, that is.
That's right.
Now what's weird about this is, Edgeworth has been willing to put away innocent people before, so this is always weird when he's doing this in investigations.
Hey, pal, go and do your perfect investigation and get the real killer for me, will you?
I would have done so even had you not requested me to, Detective. Murder for murder. So you and Mr. Faraday had a small meeting last week, did you? And what exactly did you do to make him so angry?
I just asked Detective Bad the same thing myself, pal. Turns out he was mad at me because on my very first day as a detective, I reported in at my usual post instead of the Criminal Affairs Office department. By the time I got down to the Criminal Affairs, I was really, really late. And that's when he gave me that huge speech. Oh, I did that. I've done that before.
I remember doing the same thing in elementary school. On the first day of school every year, I'd always wind up going to my old classroom. How pathetic is for the detective to be compared to a mere school child. During the recess. You claim to be standing guard in front of the door to the lobby number 2 during the recess. However, when did you receive the order to do so, and from whom?
Early at around 3:20 from Detective Bad, pal. Today's trial took a really crazy turn, so I was told to make sure nothing happened to Mr. Faraday.
And yet something did happen to him, correct? It looks like it was a total waste of manpower to assign you to guard duty.
Oh, your words sting worse than your whip, pal.
So it was Detective Bad who ordered him to stand guard, huh? Next step. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, not a thing, pal.
In that case, allow us to take a look at what you are carrying on your personage.
Wait, you can't do that.
There's nothing of any particular value here.
Well, my handcuffs and badge were confiscated by Detective Bad, so you know.
What is that open envelope I see sticking out of your coat pocket?
Hands off, pal.
Is it a bribe? Just show it to us already.
Yo!
Bonus? Annual bonus check within, $5 total. Except there is no check inside.
You've had your look, now give it back, pal. It's my first bonus as a brand new detective. I just got it and cashed it today. I had literally no cash on me up until I did, you know? So that envelope is really special to me. Now give it back.
You don't need rubbish like this. Don't worry, we'll throw it away for you later.
How could you? Such cruelty.
Annual bonus envelope, $5. $5. I'm sorry, but I need to take him in for questioning now. I think I've asked him just about everything I needed to. No, wait. Since he became a suspect, there's one piece of evidence I should reconfirm. Officer, I asked that you wait a second. I still have one thing I'd like to reconfirm with Detective Gumshoe. Understood, but please make it brief, sir. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Must confirm whether or not his testimony about when the crime occurred is the truth. When the crime occurred? I want to talk to him. So I gotta give him evidence. Present! I guess this? Yeah, his testimony, so we gotta ask him about this. Save. I said we'll save it there. So that right there is the game for now. Next time, the big dick testimony. There we go. So that right there is the game for now. I have fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.